Αυτή τη φορά είμαι πολύ χαρούμενη γιατί έχω έναν μοναδικό καλεσμένο που έρχεται από πολύ μακριά. Έρχεται από την Αμερική για την ακρίβεια. Είναι ο σκηνοθέτης της ταινίας Man from Earth, Schenkman, και θα μας πει τα πάντα για το πώς γυρίστηκε η ταινία και την άποψή του για την θεατρική παράσταση που και ο ίδιος θα πει σε λίγο. Και να τα λέω εγώ, ας μας τα πει καλύτερα ο ίδιος. Η πρώτη ερώτηση που θα ήθελα να κάνω τον καλεσμένο μας είναι ποια είναι η άποψή του όταν πηγαίνει και βλέπει την ταινία την οποία έχει γυρίσει σε κάποια άλλη χώρα που την έχουν ως παράσταση. Πώς του φαίνεται, αν του φαίνεται οικείο, αν κάτι δεν του αρέσει θα το πει στον Έλληνα σκηνοθέτη ή θα το κρατήσει τον εαυτό του.
Well, that's one of the incredibly exciting things about this trip. Even though the Man from Earth play has been done in many countries and all over America as well, this is the first time I'm seeing it. I've always wanted to go and see it, but no one's ever invited me before. The Greeks are the first people to ever invite me to come see the show. So I'm thrilled. There was a production once in California, but it was way upstate. I live in California now, but it was way upstate in some tiny little town that was impossible to get to. So I almost went to that one, but ended up not working out for my schedule. So I couldn't. Plus, it was a very short run. I think they only did it for a week or something, and so it was a very small window. So I didn't get to make it. You know, it's going to be in Greek, and I don't speak any Greek at all. But you know, luckily I know basically what happens during the show, so I should be able to follow along. I'm very excited. You know, I was asking Konstantina, who did the translation and I think and directed the production, if she had changed anything or if she had moved the setting to Greece, you know, to a Greek university or something like that, and she said no. She hadn't changed anything at all. So I think it could take place just about anywhere, really. So I can't wait to see it.
Αν όντως δεν του αρέσει η παράσταση, θα το εκφράσει και στη σκηνοθέτη ή θα το κρατήσει για τον εαυτό του?
You know, like if I see a film that a friend of mine directed, and if I don't like it, I find something that I did like. You know, maybe the performance of the lead actress or the cinematography. And I say, oh, she was great, or the look is fantastic. You know, and I concentrate on the things that I do like. And I don't say, yeah, it was boring and stupid and I didn't believe the third act. You know, I don't say any of that. I just say the good stuff. So that's what I would do. However, I'm sure I'm going to love it and everything will be perfect and flawless. And so I won't have to hide my feelings at all. I'm really excited to see it.
Έχετε εργαστεί πιο παλιά ως ηθοποιός, είσαι και σεναριογράφος. Τελικά τι είναι αυτό που σου άρεσε να κάνεις πιο πολύ?
Well, I'm a filmmaker, and the way I believe in filmmaking is where the filmmaker kind of does multiple jobs. You know, so you write, you direct, you produce, maybe you act. You know, and you kind of have a hand in crafting the entire movie. When I was a little kid, one of my favorite filmmakers was Jerry Lewis, and he wrote a book called The Complete Filmmaker, and that was the first book on filmmaking I ever read when I was very young, and it really influenced me. And he talked about doing everything, you know, being involved with producing and writing and directing and editing, acting, and so that's kind of how I look at it. So even though it's a lot of jobs, I look at it as one job.
Ναι, αλλά δεν καταναλώνεις ενέργεια σε πάρα πολλά πράγματα, το αποτέλεσμα κάπου να χάνεις.
Probably. Probably my movies aren't better. If I just concentrated on one thing, I'd make better movies. Gosh. Well, you have a lot of help. You know, there's a lot of help. There's other producers, and I get help from people during writing, during the scripting, either by collaborating with someone else or giving the scripts to people for their advice. And I always, I'm not the cinematographer. I always work with a cinematographer, so they help in terms of the look and the framing and all of that. And of course, I don't edit myself. I work with an editor.
Με ποια κριτήρια όμως επιλέγεις τους συνεργάτες σου? Πού πρέπει να έχει κάποιος για να τον επιλέξει να μπει στην ομάδα σου και να συνεργαστείτε και να βγάλετε ένα ωραίο αποτέλεσμα?
I look for someone who is very talented, you know, the most talented I can find in that job, who'll bring as much of themselves and their talent to the project as possible, but also has a cooperative spirit, so that they understand that it's a collaboration and that, and that we all contribute ideas, we all contribute our energy, and hopefully everybody can agree on what's the best idea, and the best idea rises to the top. But the way filmmaking works is that if we don't all agree on what's the best idea, somebody has to decide, and that somebody is the director. So it goes like that. But I mean, I've, as a writer, I've written with at least 5 or 6 different people. I have friends who cannot collaborate. They never collaborate. They only write by themselves. But I really enjoy it. I find I can collaborate with most people. I've only had a problem one time. That guy always gives me the scripts for my notes. So he takes my notes, but he won't write a script with me. But he won't work with anybody. He takes people's notes and he takes them to lunch to say thank you. But he feels he works all by himself.
Και η τελευταία ερώτηση έχει να κάνει με την κατάσταση στην Ελλάδα. Γνωρίζεις καθόλου την πολιτική ζωή της Ελλάδας και θέλω να μου πεις την άποψή σου αν τελικά πιστεύεις ότι φταίει ο λαός με την κατάσταση στην οποία έχουμε φτάσει ή αν φταίει το ίδιο το κράτος και η πολιτική.
When problems have been decades in the making, there's always a lot of blame to go around. There's always plenty of people that you can blame, and a lot of people like to point fingers. I think everybody, whenever there's a national problem, I think everybody has to take some responsibility and for their part of it, and not just blame, because if you blame, then the other person is going to defend themselves, and then you can't have cooperation. I think if everybody says, okay, we all contributed to this problem, we all have to contribute to the solution. We all have to make sacrifices, we all have to contribute, we all have to work hard, and everybody has to give something up, and then we can find a solution. I mean, in America right now, we're having terrible political problems because there are some people who think that compromise is wrong, compromise is evil. And how do you deal with a person who thinks compromise is evil? The problem with ideologues, who believe in a rigid ideology, is that you can't negotiate with them. We elect politicians, and we give them a lot of responsibility and a lot of power, and we trust them to do the right thing. So they want to do the thing that's popular. They don't necessarily do the thing that is right, because the thing that's right could be very difficult. They'd rather be popular than right, because they want to keep their job. So in a lot of ways, we get the politicians we deserve, because we need to be smart about only electing people who are going to do the job.
Έχεις απόλυτο δίκιο. Απλά το πρόβλημα είναι ότι πλέον αυτό το πρόβλημα γιατί η λαθασμένη νοοτροπία μεταφέρεται στη νέα γενιά, η οποία προσπαθεί να έχει ένα καλύτερο μέλλον. Αλλά όπως και να έχει, ελπίζω και τα πράγματα στην Αμερική να γίνουν καλύτερα και τα πράγματα εδώ στην Ελλάδα να γίνουν ακόμα πιο καλά, γιατί υπάρχουν άτομα που ακόμα ξέρουν. Ελισσάβετ, σε ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ για την όμορφη συνέντευξη που μου χάρισες. Εύχομαι να συνεχίσεις να κάνεις επιτυχίες, να κάνεις πράγματα που σου αρέσουν, πράγματα πολύ όμορφα, να σου χαρίσεις πρόχειρα. Εμείς θα τα πούμε στην επόμενη συνέντευξη. Από μένα, γεια σας. Bye.